left her out in a way that insinuates she's gay. Jason Whitlock claims Sydney Colson outed Caitlin Clark's sexuality in podcast appearance. Background: Caitlin Clark, a former NCAA star and now a guard for the Indiana Fever in the WNBA, has been a focal point of media narrative and commentary since turning professional. In a recent episode of the podcast Post Moves, hosted by Colson and teammate Aliyah Boston, with guest Candace Parker, the hosts took questions from fans. One fan asked, "If you were to have a WNBA All-Star game of gay players versus straight players, who would you pick?" In the ensuing discussion, Boston and Colson named a number of players for what they deemed the gay team and straight team, but conspicuously omitted Clark from the straight team list. Whitlock claims this omission, and the reaction of the hosts, amounts to an outing or insinuation about Clark's sexuality. Sportskeeda +2 Sportskeeda +2. What Jason Whitlock is claiming. On his podcast, Whitlock alleged that Colson, with Boston, left out Caitlin Clark from the straight team in a way that insinuates she's gay. He stated, "If you listen closely to what they're saying, they're talking about gay players versus straight players, and they left Caitlin Clark out of this conversation in a way that insinuates she's gay." Sportskeeda. He added that Clark wasn't mentioned, which he thinks can't be mere oversight given the context and the laughter surrounding the segment. Sportskeeda +1. Whitlock went further, suggesting that there might be a broader plan involving the WNBA and Clark through the Fever's coaching and management to groom or position her in a particular way, including around her sexuality. Sportskeeda. Key details and timeline. During the Gay vs. Straight Dream Team segment on Post Moves, Boston and Colson named players for each side, but did not mention Clark for the straight side. Sportskeeda +1 Whitlock triggers on two primary elements. One, omission of Clark in what he interprets as a straight players list, and two, the laughter and manner in which the conversation played out, which he interprets as mocking or insinuating. Sportskeeda additionally, he pointed to a prior incident. Purportedly during a celebration, Colson was behind Clark on an Instagram Live and made a gesture implying backdooring Clark. Whitlock claims this was ignored. Sportskeeda the overarching accusation. Clark is being targeted and possibly manipulated by league culture, and this segment is one manifestation of disrespect or worse. Sportskeeda. Immediate reactions and stakes. As of now, neither Colson nor Boston, publicly, have acknowledged Whitlock's specific allegation about outing or insinuating Clark's sexuality. Sportskeeda the story has generated significant online discussion, especially within WNBA and sports culture commentary circles, about how athletes' identities, including sexual orientation, are treated, and whether Clark is being used as a cultural cudgel. For Clark, the issue becomes more than performance. It raises questions of privacy, respect, and how narratives around her gender, sexuality, race, marketability intersect with sports media. For the WNBA and its players/coaches, the episode touches on internal culture, interpersonal dynamics, and the broader portrayal of athletes in media, especially women's sports. Analysis. What's at issue here? 1. Omission as insinuation. Whitlock's central claim is based on what wasn't said. He contends that leaving Clark out of the straight team list effectively places her in the gay team by implication. The power of omission is being leveraged in media discourse. Sometimes what is not said carries weight. However, one could argue alternate interpretations. Maybe her omission was oversight, or maybe the segment was meant to be lighthearted and not a serious taxonomy of sexual orientation. That ambiguity matters. 2. Privacy, identity, and respect. If indeed someone is implied to be gay without their consent, that raises ethical concerns. Sexual orientation is personal. For Clark, this situation could feel invasive or misrepresentative. The episode raises broader questions. In athletes' coverage, to what extent should sexual orientation be discussed or assumed? What standards of discourse must apply when peers talk about teammates in public forums? 3. Media narratives and athlete branding. Clark's emergence as a star in the WNBA has overlapped with heavy media scrutiny. Her identity, straight white woman, high visibility, plays into narratives around gender, pay, marketability, and representation. Some commentators, e.g. Jamal Hill, have pointed to race and sexuality as part of why Clark has risen so fast. The Sun. Whitlock's commentary suggests he sees a game plan around Clark. Thus, the sexual orientation insinuation is woven into this broader culture war framing: women's sports, celebrity, identity, marketing. This makes the incident not just about one podcast segment, but